Right, hi there beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Remember when I told you about applying for Seth's visa? Well, we've made it to Manchester. Yes! It was all happy days, but the main thing we were looking forward to was submitting the application. But then it took a turn for the worst.
It was just an absolute train smash.
Yep, let's get into it. We've made it to Manchester. Yes! Where are we going?
To Tack University Green.
Firstly, we're looking for a cafe. So let's see if we can win. Because then I'll stay there and then Seth will go on his missions. I'll tell you all about what his missions are. But for now, let's find somewhere to sit. And be warm. Because it's freezing. Could be worse, to be fair. Oh, it's cute though. Thank you. Tack did not have much for us to offer. Did not have much to offer for us. Cool. Thank you. It's about that time, which is really hectic. It's actually not that hectic. I think it's just because we've been through so much in terms of visas. Yeah, so it's not actually hectic in principle, it's just hectic because we've been through so much in terms of visas. It's like, when I tell you there's like a little bit of trauma from like the rejection and things, I don't know. Just some bits have not been easy and it's just been kind of tense and this feels like it's been like this cloud over us a little bit, which has not been great. But we've done things, we've done everything we could for this application, got all the documents, sent things over. There's so many bits, but we've managed. And so now Seth's gonna go over, he's gonna leave in like 15 minutes maybe. I'm just gonna chill here, get some work done, then he'll get back and then we'll chill. Walk around Manchester, see what's poppin'. Probably go out for dinner tonight just to celebrate because yeah, it's a time. It is a time. Folks, when I tell you my stomach is in a pit. I'm so stressed. Seth is inside the meeting or inside the thingy. Essentially they're going around, like they're sending around in circles because of my bank statement. My stomach is in pits. So she's saying let's just wait and see. I can't keep working, I'm stressed. Gosh, guys. submit a bank statement of like because I'm like, it's literally about how much you get paid, not how much money is spent between now and today. Because I'm like, it's the 12th of February, right? So how much is spent between getting paid and February? What's the relevance? Because mainly what they're asking me is how much you're being paid, not like how's it being spent. So I'm like, if the amount I'm being paid is what's in there, then oh, let's be saying HR can get the most recent transaction for bank statement. Okay, let's see what we can do.
Can I please ask someone to look over that application to see if it is correct? Because the girl that helped me literally had zero idea what she was doing. So it basically, I was meant to have my appointment at 11:15 in the morning.
Yeah.
And they don't allow you to use devices in the waiting room.
Yeah.
So obviously this is like already driving to another city, which is costing money. We've paid for all the documents and the immigration lawyers, their help, all up to this point.
Yeah.
So we've really invested, and this is like a 4-year long process of like repeated applications, things going wrong, traveling back and forwards. So to come around here, it's like a 4-year long kind of journey and story.
And then there's still increments of it. So let's say like
Yeah.
this one specifically would actually started back in South Africa.
Yes, started in South, which was like, okay, cool, let me go to South Africa with you so I can go and get that thing to then
Yes.
come back with. And then I get the things in the UK, then we delay, then we don't, and then we move forwards, and like
Yeah.
a whole set of different things. So we're trying to like live life alongside all of this. So it's a huge day. You go and work somewhere, I'm there, can't do work, so it's a day off work, it's money lost. Sitting there, 11:15 is meant to be my appointment. I get seen at 2:30 in the afternoon. It's meant to be a 15-minute appointment.
Yeah.
And I come out of there after an hour 15. It was getting ridiculous. Like waiting was like getting like grim. Like it's super boring. Everyone's irritated.
Yeah.
Everyone's complaining. Everyone's like cursing the system. The staff are stressed.
Yeah.
They're run really low. There clearly isn't very good training. Everyone's sitting. There's kids that are crying, and there's those people standing up because there's too many people in the room.
Oh, I see.
And then for each country, there's like 14 different booths. There's one booth per country. Eventually get seen. I go in, this girl's sitting there and she's like, I'm so sorry for the wait. I'm like, it's fine, don't worry about it. Like, I understand, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, because you can also see outside it's hectic.
Yeah, 100%. And I know how the system's run. Like,
Yeah.
it's run for profit. There's not enough staff.
So I guess to kind of clarify how it all is set up, so there's a third-party company that essentially receives all the applications. They double check that your things are correct, that you're submitting all the right things, because there are categories and everything. And then based on the category, like you'll give them that piece of document, and they also check like is it certified, blah blah blah. Just like they essentially just check that everything is correct.
Yes.
And so VFS then takes your things, submits it to, so let's speak in UK context because it's different in South Africa. In the UK, VFS Manchester receives the application, sends it to London. London sends it to South Africa. South Africa makes the decision, sends it back, and then the person receives the thing back.
So VFS are meant to know all the things.
Yeah.
That's their job. What's funny is their disclaimer says that it's nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it is to do with you because you are verifying whether or not these documents are fine. That's literally what your job is. We won't go too far into that because I didn't get that service anyway. Because I went in, this girl was sitting there, sorry, blah, blah, blah. Cool, that's fair. Let's just get on with it. It's so many hours late, but I'm still going to be civil. It's fine. But then she goes, so what visa are you applying for? You go, oh, a relative's visa. And she goes, oh, I've never done one of them before. That's just like, you never done, what? So anyway, I'm like, obviously now I'm thinking, oh, no wonder, like, we're so late. This poor girl, like, she doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
So anyway, she's like panicking a little bit, which obviously makes me a bit uneasy.
Yeah.
But then she basically just pulls up the website, which anyone's got access to, and is out of date and makes zero sense. Any of you want to go and look, VFS Global, UK to South Africa, go on the relatives visa and look at the documents required and try and make sense of what you need to actually do. It's ridiculous. It does not specify at all that actually, if you are already married with a marriage certificate, you actually don't need to do this bullet point, this bullet point, this bullet, or this bullet point. You're fine. Didn't specify that. Next hour, 15 minutes with this girl was kind of like, she would go, have you got this document? And I go, yeah, cool, got that document. She'd go to the next bullet point. Have you got this document? And I go, I don't need that document because of this. And she go, well, you do because it's on the website. No, but I don't because of this, this, and this. And she goes, and thinks I'm being difficult. I'm not being difficult, just you're wrong. I've got the right documents. So she phones her supervisor, can't get hold of her supervisor. Phones the line manager, can't get hold of the line manager. They're busy somewhere else. There's literally no one in that building to help her. So she's panicking, doesn't know what to do. We're just sitting there. And she's going through like waiting to get answers about these other things. And we're kind of like jotting up the list of things that she's asked for that I've said, no, I don't need them.
Yeah.
It's like, have you got the relationship affidavit? Nope, don't need that because I've got a marriage certificate, which means I don't need a relationship affidavit.
Yeah.
And then we get to bank statements and she's asking for the most recent bank statements within 7 days of me being there. It's the 12th of the month. Whereas what they actually need is a bank statement that's been certified within 7 days of the application date for the last 3 months from Dimple.
Yeah.
So now I'm messaging Dimple saying, hey, we need this. Like, she's asked for this, knowing full well she's wrong. But I just need to get this thing done.
Yeah.
If we have too much stuff, if we have extra bank statement things.
Rather that.
But Dimple's like, I can't get it. I don't know how to get it. And then you have to speak to your siblings.
Because I was like, of the day. I was like, how do I get my statement of the day? It's certified and everything. I'm like, I physically need to... That's not practical. There's so many different ways to have looked at it. Because from my perspective on the day was that, how do I get a bank statement that's like if I was in South Africa, which technically I should be, if you're applying from the UK from your home and I'm at my home in South Africa, how are you supposed to get
how am I supposed to get it within 7 days?
Within 7 days stamped.
Because the stamp, I had to explain the stamp to her as well, which is like an electronic stamp that the bank now gives.
Yeah.
So she's meant to know that is actually
valid.
A valid stamp, but she didn't. I had to explain that to her.
Yeah.
And it's like, went back and forwards. Now I'm waiting for Dimple's thing. And then she's saying, look, going through my application, she's like, and your bank statements to show proof of funds? I'm like, I don't need to provide them.
Yeah, because you're my dependent.
Yeah, you're meant to be supplying for me.
Yeah.
Which the South African website doesn't even take into account. It literally says proof the husband has the money to support the applicant. Basically, it assumes the South African is the husband and they're bringing in a wife. And this stumped the girl as well. She was like, it's you that must do it then, like, because, and it's not your wife. And I'm like, no. That's because the South African website's just out of date, just the whole thing. And it was just like, what are we doing? What are we doing in this meeting? Why am I educating you on this? This is this is literally your job. It's to submit these applications. You exist for this very purpose in this role.
I fully get someone maybe having not done a certain thing before. Because I'm like, there's maybe 5 visa things to choose from.
Oh, there's loads. Yeah.
But surely as a company, one thing, you've trained in each, otherwise what are you doing on the floor?
Yeah.
If that's too much to ask, surely there's like a supervisor who's on the floor being like, right, if that's too much to ask, surely someone has a schedule that's like, right, tomorrow we've got a spousal visa application, we've got a student visa application. Is the person who's going to be handling all these things equipped to be doing the day's things? Yeah. I'm just working in retail, you know your schedule, you just need to know everything. Yeah. And I'm like, that's not even anything overly complex. This is people's lives that you are messing with, having a massive hand in. Yeah. So how is it that the person who's assisting you has no idea what's going on and then doesn't have anyone to call to be like, right, I'm new on the job. like, cool, I can accept that. I'm new on the job, so that means I need access to someone. Either someone sitting next to me or someone that I can easily call and be like, right, I've known this woman before, can you please just help me through when I do the things?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. There's got to be a backup somewhere.
Something.
Yeah. But there wasn't. so literally, so then like, eventually, so this is happening with like so many different points of the application.
Yeah.
And then eventually she gets hold of a supervisor. And then like, I can see like she's feeling embarrassed of having to ask the questions. And then the supervisor's like, oh no, the client's right. Oh yeah, on that one, the client's right.
Yeah.
The client's right. The client's right. The client's right. And it was just like, oh man, like all this stress. But then we still had to wait for this stuff from you anyway, because then she didn't want to ask about everything to her supervisor.
Yeah.
Probably not wanting to seem like completely incompetent. She was then waiting for that stuff. My bank statements, because it's got like pots for savings and stuff, and they wanted that, and I had to go and contact my bank and speak to them and get them to send it, and send a proof of account that I own the account. And then it's like, my bank statement's like 54 pages long.
Yeah.
And I like got to the end of the appointment and she hadn't even printed them out. And she was like, sorry, I'm so far behind. I need to get these people done, these appointments done. And then after all of that, I'll then put your thing in. And I'm like, but the thing is, I just genuinely got this sense that like, when it comes down to it, like they don't actually care whether the application is good or not.
Yeah.
Their job is just to collect it. They've got this disclaimer that means they're not going to get sued.
Yeah.
They're going to get paid, and they're just going to send it off. It's not. They don't care. It's nothing to do with them whether it gets accepted or rejected. They literally don't care. So I think that's why they probably is just such a shambles of like a system, because it's like, well, it didn't really matter when it comes down to it because it's not our problem.
Yeah.
We get to the end, and she hasn't taken my passport, and I'm like, and I just like pushed it towards her. Oh yeah, there's my passport. She's like, oh, I don't need it. I'm like, what do you mean you don't need it? Bearing in mind, guys, can I just say, I've been doing this since 2010. In 2024, I've done this that many times.
Yeah.
They need my passport to put the visa in it.
Yeah.
I explained that to her and she's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Clearly. Like, what have you done with all of the other appointments?
Oh, I don't. I haven't even thought about that. Oh, I don't.
And then I go, oh, and the fingerprints? She's like, oh, you don't need to do the fingerprints. I'm like, I'm pretty certain I need to do the fingerprints.
Yeah.
Like, I've always done fingerprints. She's like, no, I don't need to do fingerprints. Oh, it says like I need the biometric scan of fingerprints on the website. She's like, yeah, but like, we're not going to do it. I was like,
that was wild. Because I'm like, even from South Africa to the UK, every single time, because they need to be able to match your identity.
Yeah. But anyway,
basically
I left there with zero confidence in the application, not from anything on our side.
Yeah.
Our application was solid.
Yeah.
But
we went over it like 100 times.
Yeah. We paid immigration lawyers to double check it.
Yeah.
They're like, no, it's fine. It's a strong thing. They won't deny it. You've been married 5 years. They can't. Blah 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 blah.
We've added documents we didn't even need.
Yeah.
It's just like, just take all.
Yeah.
The information, like, if anything you tell us we are legit, we just
financially you're above and beyond what you need to.
Yeah.
But now we're like, will they even accept the things because they've got the wrong things? Is it stamped right? Is it this right? Is that right? She was questioning whether the certified copies were in date, and I'm like, they're in date by a month. Like, no, like there isn't a short amount of time left. There's a whole month left on these things. It was just like an absolute train smash. And I got out, messaged Dimps, and like, it went so bad.
Yeah.
And panicked, and like driving back. And then I was like, oh, should I go back and do my fingerprints? But then I know I can't get back in. Will they even see me? Will they even allow it? Because that they're really kind of like, the security there is aggressive.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were driving back in the middle of traffic from Manchester, like bumper to bumper, crazy driving.
Dilapidated.
Yeah, stressed out.
Yeah, because we tried to call them, isn't it?
Yeah, and you couldn't find the right number. And I was like, cool, I'm going to look for the number. Looked, get loads of random numbers. Yeah. None of them working. Eventually got one, and it's like a call centre somewhere in the east, in India, I think. And it's like, listen, you're messing with my life. Like, I need you to help sort this out. Literally, like, what's going to happen with my application? They said they're going to get a case manager involved. They're going to get back to you within 48 hours, explain the email and exactly what happened. So I'm like, okay, cool, at least that's happened. The lady on the phone verified, like, she was like, oh my gosh, they didn't take your fingerprints. Oh my word.
That made us stressful.
And I was like, oh.
That made us stressful. That was like, oh no.
So then,
Yo.
so then that's the thing message we get. It kind of feels like it confirms what we understand of the thing. Wait a couple of days, get no contact. So then I try and phone them again.
Yeah.
Because I got an SMS saying my application is on the way to South Africa.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, don't send it. Oh, it's not a good application. It's messed up.
Yeah.
Like, you messed it up. Don't send it.
Yeah.
And this thing is constantly in my head of like, Seth, they don't care. They haven't checked it. They're just sending it because they know they've got this big ass disclaimer that washes their hands clean. They just want it off their desk.
Yeah.
Job done. They don't care. It's
because
rejected.
they're overloaded themselves, you can see.
100%.
Yeah.
So anyway, eventually get hold of the people, and it gets on to my apparent case manager. It's like, oh, Mr. Bagley, I was about to call you, and I'm sure you were.
Because it was past 48 hours at that point.
Yeah, past 48 hours anyway.
So getting that message, it was like, we're calling them right now.
Yeah.
There's no way.
This is ridiculous. So I tell him the situation. He's like, listen, Mr. Bagley, I've looked over your application. Everything's fine. Everything's in order. No need to do the fingerprints. And I was like, are you sure? And he's like, you're applying for the short-term visa, right? And I'm like, this is my case manager. My case manager. This guy exists to literally look at my case, know exactly what's going on. Yeah. He's the level that is meant to know.
Absolutely. And then reassure you also actually, you need to do A, B, and C. Yeah,
100%. So I'm like, no, it's a long-term visa, a relatives visa. Oh, okay. Well, okay, just give me one moment. Again, these calls are recorded, so I'm like, in my head, I'm already thinking, like, how am I going to take these people to court? Because, like, seriously, this is ridiculous. Yeah. And he comes back, Mr. Bagley, it's okay. It's been verified in London. There's no problem with the application. If there's anything more that comes up, I'll give you a call. I'm like, all right, okay. I'm clocking. I can't do anything at this point.
Yeah.
And it was a weird feeling, right? I didn't know whether to be happy and feel like, oh, okay, you know what? It is fine. He's right. It's his job. He should know. But I'm like,
things just didn't add up.
Things didn't add up.
Yeah.
And then literally just says like, you know what? They've said that. Fine. I personally have zero confidence in any of this process. But as of right now, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
I can't even get my passport back and just go, stuff this visa process here. We'll do it in South Africa. Let me just fly with you on April 12th. And at least then we're together. No, like it's gone. I'm not going to get it back. I asked him how long it would take. The website says up to 90 days. He says it's a minimum of 90 days. So what is it? Like genuinely, how long am I waiting? Yeah. I mean, we're going to be apart for 3 months? Are we going to be apart at all? Genuinely have no idea. Follow-up emails I've sent, I just get this automated response now of like, based on our previous reply, everything is fine with your application. And I've literally, this latest one, I've emailed them to say, listen, the receipt you gave me from the application date has a reference number that is different to the reference number that I got by SMS. So how do I track and even know? The reference number is for the application in my name. Why is the reference number different? Based on our previous engagement and our previous email, nothing's wrong with your application. It's just the same thing again. And it's like, you can't get any further with them. And it's like, so then I'm searching, like, can I take them to court? Blah, 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 this thing. And just like reading on the internet, just like, yeah, good luck. Like, no chance. Ultimately, the government's got to sort it out, but they don't. And it's just like typical story of like being cross-cultural, inter-country marriages where just like, realistically, no one wants to help.
Yeah.
So that was the experience of Manchester and going to apply. Cheers.
Yeah.
Did our job well.
Shame.
And you got absolutely shafted.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully not. Honestly, I just, at this point, just want to come back in time before you leave.
Yeah.
Whether it's rejected, obviously I want it to be accepted. Praying, please God, that it's accepted.
Yeah.
Miraculously, it's being accepted.
That would be a miracle.
Miraculously accepted before you leave, which will be way under the waiting time that we're meant to be waiting. Hopefully we get to be able to give you that good news.
Yeah.
That would be an amazing thing to talk about. Because 100%. Honestly, based on this, it has to be God, because this was ridiculous.
Yeah. It's mad because nothing could have prepared us for a teller that had absolutely no idea what she was doing.
Yeah.
Because everything else, it feels like we've just gotten a good gauge over just immigration things.
Yeah, and requirements.
Yeah,
no back of
everything.
Hand. Yeah.
It's like, and so to be even overly prepared just to get
Yeah.
a teller that doesn't know what she's doing. Nothing could have prepared us for that.
Yeah, no, nothing.
Yeah.
I think as well, we were honestly so excited for this day.
Yeah.
We were nervous, but we was excited. We prayed so much.
Yeah.
We'd had so many people praying with us, and we literally the night before had prayed loads, and I just felt confident. We knew our application was good. It's like nothing can go wrong here. Like,
still relatively nervous because we've been through the system.
But then feeling like almost like, why are we nervous? Like, because there's nothing to worry about here. Like, we've got a good application. It's fully covered in prayer, and then to get in there and just have like no answer to prayer with the worst agent you could have ever hoped for.
Yeah.
It was just really miserable and like
really, really sad.
Super frustrating to then have to be like, I've missed a day of work as well. And we're gonna have to go back again and spend more money traveling back and do another application, more months drawing it out, and just trying to get back in the mindset of like getting on with the practicalities of life. While I was dealing with like, why hasn't God answered our prayers in any way, shape or form with this thing? But then now since then we've been able to rebuild. God's given us some clarity on things, and we're kind of like stable and understand feel like we've got a sense of what's going on. But now we're just in that waiting space.
Yeah.
And hopefully it comes back, or hopefully I don't know what could happen, but
yeah, honestly we'll cross that bridge.
Yeah. So there we go.
There you go.
Thanks for listening.
I was about to say thank you for listening. I know it's a lot, and thank you so much to everyone. Like, thank you for the support we've received. Like, so many people send really kind messages and comments, and it really sucks to come back to you guys with not great news and things, but I guess it's just life. And I guess we're happy to share it though. Yeah,
and it's our story, and I think as well, I hope it helps that so many people.
So if you guys support us, please hit the like button. It means the world and genuinely contributes to my channel.
Yeah.
Beyond that, see you at the next.
See you at the next.
Thank you, Zippy.
Pleasure.
Love you.
Love you too.
Love you more. I'm glad we can laugh about it now. Really...
It was wounding at the time. Are we on the telly?
We're on the telly.